Okay, it's Memorial Day weekend, so we're taking advantage of the fact that the courthouse is closed. Me and Nick are up here again today. We're going to be refinishing these floors really soon. Normally we wouldn't do the floors before doing the ceilings and walls, but a lot of these floors are completely bare wood. There's nothing sealing them at all, and I'm concerned about continued deterioration of the wood. We spill things, and I'd rather have to, you know, sand down the stuff and redo it again than have the wood absolutely ruined. So Nick's out here and he's removing the quarter round down here at the bottom really carefully, just a little bit at a time, going along. This stuff is really in there good. Taking off 1, 2, 3 pieces. And right now we're just leaving them there where they came off so that we can label them and make sure that we don't lose track of what they are. And this piece is really long, so I'm going to get in there with another claw at the other end. And that way we don't split it. He's being real careful not to split anything. So far doing a great job. Okay, so Nick started down at this end. And I started down at this end, and we've met up here in the middle. And you can see we didn't pull it off very far from the wall. I mean, just enough of a gap to know that we can go back with our tool and get back in there and pry a little bit at a time, just a little bit at a time, all along the board. You know, more and more each time we go down it, or down the trim. And that way we don't break anything, we don't crush the wall, we don't break the molding and have to go and get another piece cut. And this way we can preserve the old stuff. And it looks pretty nasty now. Ugh. Yeah, let's look at a close-up there. Not the least of the great things about this is that we can clean this garbage up. The reason we're taking this down is because we are going to sand the floors. And if you only sand them right up to the quarter round, you actually, I mean, you might not think it's noticeable, but even just the little bit that you're going to take off of the floor with the sander will be noticeable. It'll leave like a little ridge of floor underneath the quarter round that will be raised up from the rest of the floor. And also, it's really hard to get up to the edges, so you take the quarter round off and you have a little bit of room for, you know, not quite making it to the edge, and it'll be covered by the quarter round when you go back. Although it might really be easier to get the small one off first, so why don't we do that, Nick? Let's take that small one off first. This is just a real small one that runs from the door frame to the edge here.
The problem is it's very close to the wall, and it's painted, so it's hard to get the tool in there.
Okay, well, you're just going to stick your tool where you know it should go and just hammer. Just hammer and hammer and hammer, and it'll slide in there eventually. Nice. Now, I noticed that the other piece is still pretty tight on there, so let's try and hammer in the edge of that, like the very corner of that piece there. No, like in the long piece that you were taking off already. Yeah, let's try right there. One thing you're going to notice when these come off, the nails are huge. We can go ahead and pop this one off now. Let's start here, and we're going to just widen the gap a little bit. Yeah, let me show you real quick what we're dealing with. This is the length of the nails coming out of the wall. Can you see that? They're huge. Nothing today. No trim would have nails that big. And that's part of the problem. That's part of why it's so hard to get this stuff off, especially without breaking it. Nick's been doing a great job. I was mowing and he came out and said, "You got 2 pieces and neither were broken." And I thought, oh my gosh, that is cause for celebration right there. Kind of nervous about getting involved. I'm afraid that I'm going to break a piece. Have you tried going under it at all yet?
No, I usually get one gap like.
Oh, okay.
It makes the second part easier.
Nice. Ah, that was a sound of victory right there. That squeaky pop.
There's one nail getting looser. Found a nail.
You go. So with this, Nick, you still have the flat wide part to it, so it's not going to split the wood as easily, but you've got more leverage to pull back on it. You want to focus on nail places with that. Makes it a little easier, huh? Mm-hmm. You're not running into the wall with all your leverage. All right, success.
I only have like one nail on it. Like what?
Oh my goodness. What? No, I see nail holes. See? You pulled it out. The nail heads came through the board is all.
Yeah.
Stayed in the wood.
4 nails.
That's okay.
Alright.
The amount of patience required to take these off without breaking them is just astronomical. Nick, you are my hero. There are not a lot of 13-year-olds out there with the patience to do a project like this and not break anything. A quarter round like this is particularly delicate, but the same principle of patience applies with pretty much any trim you're taking off. In the other kitchen, we took down a thing of window trim and found that it had been in 4 pieces. Apparently, the previous owners, when they took it down and put up paneling behind it, they broke it, pulling it off the wall. And so it had just been nailed up in 4 pieces and painted over. I mean, it's repairable. We're going to glue it back together after we get all the paint off of it. But it'll never, it'll never be the same. I mean, there's going to be a break in it, and that will be obvious because we are going to stain it. But that's part of the history of the house.
The nail is almost coming out.
Use your hammer to tap that in if you need. Pop, very nice. You can see we got most of it off, but we're not getting impatient and just grabbing the end of the quarter round and yanking it out of the wall. Nick's Nick's worked hard and patiently, and he is making sure it comes off in one piece. To make sure he's at a nail now. He doesn't want to snap it by pulling where there's not a nail. He's just kind of carefully going along and looking for the places where when he pries, he's prying at the lowest point. There he goes. He's got a nail. Very good. Nice.
One piece in every.
Alright, I'm going to back up here and you hold up your victory piece of trim. Don't cut yourself on any of those tetanus nails there. Oh my goodness, look at the length of those nails. Wow. Awesome, Nick. Nice job, Nick. I know carpenters who couldn't do that, or well, wouldn't bother anyway.